have like made value with nothing but that, like
Oh my God.
on every sphere.
Like when Jennifer Lopez goes to the beach in a bikini, and what makes the front of a magazine cover is the fact that her cellulite is showing. Like, what the hell? Then you start seeing those magazine covers when you're like a 10-year-old girl. So it is just like burned into your brain that this shit matters when it doesn't matter, and it definitely doesn't matter for men. So yeah, I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, and you look back at the people the culture called quote unquote fat, like what was that terrible movie about the diaries?
Oh, Bridget Jones.
She was 138 pounds. Yeah. I mean, when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, what have we done? Yeah.
Basically, any movie that I watch from the early 2000s that I think I'm going to enjoy, I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah, it's really, it's literally terrible. Yeah. So yeah, it is. It's hard. It's really hard. I'm very sympathetic to that. That is very hard to break out of that, like, must be as small as possible. And I'm glad to see, and correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I feel like your generation, I have a daughter who's 21, and her generation, I definitely feel, has a better relationship with that. Just because there's just a broader standard of like being more naturally built. You don't have to be skinny.
Yeah, and I mean the internet is it can be horrible, and it can also be really great. And I think the really great part of the internet and social media is that it allows people to connect and share kind of normal experiences. And even celebrities now, the way that they exist in the public eye is different. You're seeing more behind the scenes. You're seeing more normalization of different bodies in in the public eye. And so I think that shift is a real one, and it's because of the amount of connection that our generation has, and then the generation behind us, that the generations before us definitely didn't have.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. We had beauty magazines.
Yeah, which is exactly right. That's hugely problematic.
Hugely problematic. So when you are working with this, aside from that psychological piece, which honestly I think is more than half of the game, are there broad brush dietary guidelines? I mean, I think about like protein, I think fiber, I think the stuff that I know a lot of people are not addressing, even carbohydrates, the people who are just like, I can't eat, a grain. Are there broad brush dietary thoughts that you have for this demographic that you see, as a trend, things that women are not doing enough or could use more of?
Yeah. Definitely, like, we focus on the low hanging fruit first. Yeah. So, I think that the approach should always be like, keep it as simple as possible for as long as possible. Like, you think, or we want to think about what is the lowest effective dose for any intervention. Like, we don't need to go crazy. There are all kinds of crazy diets that people can do out there, and they probably have tried them and they haven't been able to stick with them because they're too freaking crazy. So what we look for and what we recommend for women is, number one, a regular eating schedule. And you'd be surprised at how difficult this is for people, or how rare it is for people to actually eat on a very regular schedule. So like breakfast, same time of day, lunch, same time of day, dinner, same time of day, snacks, standardized. So we're looking like regular eating schedule and of like big square meals. So the